interrupt you for one speech. I'm just going to speak a little bit about the name and a couple of other words. So do the name last, so I'll keep you in suspense. So last Hanukkah, about a month after my grandson was born, I got an amazing Hanukkah present. Randy handed me a pregnancy test that was positive. And I will tell you, I couldn't stop literally giggling. I was just laughing. I didn't know how to respond. You know, you have certain expectations in life. You think that, you know, you have a grandchild, you're going to move on to the next phase. We talked about taking our young daughter, Mira, to Disney World as a vignette this summer. So you plan, and you know, other things happen, and Baruch Hashem. I mean, it took a while to adjust to back into the mother role, but I was, being a guy not having to carry the baby and go through all the other issues, I was ecstatic right away. And I want to talk a little bit just about this concept of expecting. We use the term expecting when we're expecting a baby. And it's an interesting word, because generally, the Stam word means you expect something to happen, so you expect a baby to come. You order a computer from Dell, you expect the computer tomorrow. You don't think too much about it. This is what you're expecting this to come tomorrow. When you're expecting a baby, I guess part of it has to do with the amount of time you have to expect a baby. It's, in our case, it was 8 months. Maybe if you were expecting a computer for 8 months, you'd also think more about it. But basically, when you're expecting this baby, it's not just expecting the baby, you have expectations. You really, in your mind, you create an entire world. This baby is going to become whatever he's going to become. He's going to become a world. He's going to grow up into be a Talmid Chacham or a doctor or preferably both. But balance, right? Rabbi? Balance, right? But you look forward to, you know, hopefully you picture him getting married and raising a family. Really, you picture this whole universe happening, this whole world happening. And that's really what it means to expect. And then, you know, and things happen. Like, so in life we expect a lot of things. And then expectation, you know, when the actual event happens or something happens, so your expectations get altered somewhat, sometimes, many times, usually. I mean, even under the most typical circumstances, you have expectations for a baby or for an event or whatever it is, and the reality changes. And reality is different than expectations very often. And we have a different reality than we expected, but it's a beautiful reality. It's an ultimate reality. And many of you don't know, and I'm not going to get too into it, but Randy and I have also had to deal with the cessation of an expectation. And that's extremely painful. And this is nothing like that. I mean, we've had the expectations and we've had to lose expectations, and this is, you know, nothing like that. I mean, the people who came from the old country with us know about that, and if you want, we can talk privately, that's fine. But, so on this concept, the Gorbics gave me this story, which I understand has been read before in similar type of ritotes. I was going to give a different mushal. It's basically the mushal of the way I'm feeling, what I'm expressing here. I was vetoed, but I just want to mention it for those of you who will understand. You'll hear this story, you can apply it. My mushal is going to come from Star Trek, which, as many of you know, is something that I like to talk about when I talk, specifically Star Trek Voyager. So keep the plot and the whole concept of Voyager in mind if you know it, and then you can listen to this story, which is much more poignant than I would have done had I spoken about Voyager. It's titled The Trip to Holland. When you're going to have a baby, it's like you're planning a vacation to Italy. The other reason I didn't want to read this is because I really don't like Europe. I don't like Italy. You know, if it weren't there, we'd all be better off. First of all, it'd be best because you live in the United States, and for many reasons. But anyway, let me go back to this story. When you're going to have a baby, it's like you're planning a vacation to Italy. You're all excited. You get a whole bunch of guidebooks. You learn a few phrases in Italian so you can get around. And then comes time to pack your bags and head for the airport for Italy. Only when you land, the stewardess says, "Welcome to Holland." You look at one another in disbelief and shock, saying, "Holland? What are you talking about? I signed up for Italy." But they explain there's been a change of plans. And you've landed in Holland, and there you must stay. "But I don't know anything about Holland. I don't want to stay," you say. But you stay. You go out and buy some new guidebooks. You learn some new phrases. You meet people you never knew existed. The important thing is that you're not in Italy or some filthy, plague-infested slum full of pestilence and famine. simply in a different place than you had planned. It's slower paced than Italy, less flashy than Italy. But after you've been there a little while and have a chance to catch your breath, you begin to discover that Holland has windmills. Holland has tulips. Holland has Rembrandts. But everyone else you know is busy, going from Italy. They're all bragging about what a great time they had there. And for the rest of your life you will say, yes, that's what I had planned. The pain of that will never go away. You have to accept that pain because the loss of that dream, of that expectation, the loss of that plan is a very significant loss. And just as practically, I wouldn't even call it a loss, I would call it an alteration. But you spend your life mourning the fact that, but if you spend your life mourning the fact that you didn't get to Italy, you'll never be free to enjoy the very special, very lovely things about Holland. So we're extremely looking forward to our trip in Holland that we've arrived at. Personally, since I'm new to Italy or Holland, from what I understand, Holland sounds like a much nicer place than Italy anyway. So I think we're really going to enjoy our trip to Holland, and I'm really looking forward to the trip there. It's going to be a little bit more difficult trip, but I think in the end, it'll be tremendously rewarding. We named the baby Yisrael Simcha. There's so many meanings to the name. It's fascinating. So first of all, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, Yisrael Simcha, we are happy to be in Israel. I mean, we're living in Eretz Yisrael. We're fulfilling the mitzvah of Yishuv Haaretz. We're happy to be in Eretz Yisrael. We're happy to be in Medinas Yisrael. It's very important to us. It's a simcha. It's a nace that this Medina is here. It's a nace that Hashem gave us this place, and it's true simcha that we're here.